I Know What I Meant, originally produced by British Granada Television, includes public statements made by the former president, as well as reconstructions of conversations held in his Oval Office. When part of the conversation is left out, the picture will change like this. Special counsel to the president, John Dean, is played by Bob Sherman. Chief Domestic Advisor, John Ehrlichman, by James Berwick. Chief of Staff, Bob Haldeman, is John Bay. The Press Secretary, Ronald Ziegler, is played by Shane Rimmer. And the president is played by the brilliant Shakespearean actor Nicole Williams. The date is September 15th, 1972. The place, the Oval Office of the White House.
Hi, how are you? You had quite a day today, didn't you? You got Watergate on the way, didn't you?
We tried.
How did it all end up?
I think we can say well at this point. The press is playing it just as we expect.
Whitewash?
No, not yet. The story right now
It's
is
a big story. 5 indicted, plus the W.H. Former guy and all that.
plus 2 White House fellas.
That's good. That takes the edge off whitewash, really.
The resources that have been put against this whole investigation to date are really incredible. It is truly a larger investigation than was conducted against the after-inquiry of the JFK assassination.
Oh?
There are good statistics supporting the finding.
Isn't that ridiculous, this silly thing? Yes. Expletive deleted. Goldwater put it in context when he said, expletive deleted everybody bugs everybody else. You know that.
That was priceless.
It happens to be totally true. We were bugged in '68 on the plane, and in '62, even running for governor. Expletive deleted thing you ever saw.
During this meeting, the President received a phone call from John Mitchell, former Director of the Committee for the Re-election of the President and former Attorney General.
Well, are you still alive? I was just sitting here with John Dean, and he tells me you were going to be sued or something. Good. Good. Yeah. Good. Sure. Well, I tell you, just don't let this keep you or your colleagues from concentrating on the big game. This thing is just one of those side issues, and a month later everybody looks back and wonders what all the shooting was about. Okay, John. Good night. Get a good night's sleep. And don't bug anybody without asking me. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.
3 months ago, I would have had trouble predicting there would be a day when this would be forgotten. But I think I can say that 54 days from now, nothing is going to come crashing down to our surprise.
The what?
Nothing is going to come crashing down to our surprise.
Oh, well, this is a can of worms. As you know, a lot of the stuff that went on. And the people who work this way are awfully embarrassed. But the way you have handled all this seems to me has been very skillful, putting your fingers in the leaks that have sprung here and sprung there.
Well, as I see it, the only problems we may have are the human problems, and I will keep a close watch on that.
Union?
Human.
Human frailties.
Yeah, people get annoyed. You know, some finger-pointing, false accusations, any internal dissension of any nature.
We are all in it together. This is a war. We take a few shots and it'll be over. We'll give them a few shots and it'll be over. Don't worry. I wouldn't want to be on the other side right now, would you?
Along that line, one of the things I've tried to do, I've begun to keep notes on a lot of people who are emerging as less than our friends. Because this will be over someday, and we shouldn't forget the way some of them have treated us.
I want the most comprehensive notes on all those who tried to do us in. They didn't have to do it. If we had had a very close election and they were playing the other side, I would understand this. No, they were doing this quite deliberately, and they are asking for it, and they are going to get it. We have not used the power in this first 4 years, as you know. We have never used it. We have not used the Bureau, and we have not used the Justice Department, but things are going to change now, and they are either going to do it right or go.
What an exciting prospect.
You really can't sit and worry about it all the time. The worst may happen, but it may not. So you just try to button it up as well as you can and hope for the best. And remember, basically, the damn business is, unfortunately, trying to cut our losses.
Well, certainly that is right. And certainly it has had no effect on you. That is the good thing.
Oh, it's been kept away from the White House, and of course, completely from the President.
We have come a long road on this thing now. I had thought it was an impossible task to hold together until after the election, till things started falling out. But we have made it this far, and I am convinced we are going to make it the whole road and put this thing in the funny pages of the history books rather than anything serious, because
Well, it will be somewhat serious. But the main thing, of course, is also the isolation of the president.
Well, absolutely, totally true.
Because that, fortunately, is totally true.
I know that, sir.
Expletive deleted. Of course, I am not dumb. And I will never forget when I heard about this adjective deleted, forced entry and bugging. I thought, what in the hell is this? What is the matter with these people? Are they crazy? I thought they were nuts, a prank. But it wasn't. It wasn't very funny. I think that our Democratic friends know that, too. They know what the hell it was. They don't think we'd be involved in such.
I think they do, too.
Well, maybe they don't. They don't think I'd be involved in such stuff. They think I have people capable of it, and they are correct, and that Coulson would do anything. Well, okay, have a little fun. And now I will not talk to you again until you have something to report to me.
All right, sir.
From the beginning, I have said that in many places on the tapes there were ambiguities, statements and comments that different people with different perspectives might interpret in drastically different ways. But although the words may be ambiguous, though the discussions may have explored many alternatives, the record of my actions is totally clear now, and I still believe it was totally correct then.
The reason that I thought we ought to talk this morning is because in our conversations, I have the impression that you don't know everything I know. I think that there is no doubt about the seriousness of the problem we've got. We have a cancer within, close to the presidency, that is growing. It's growing daily. It's compounded, growing geometrically now because it compounds itself. That will be clear if I, explain some of the details of why it is. Basically, it is because, one, we're being blackmailed. Two, people are going to start perjuring themselves very quickly that have not had to perjure themselves to protect other people in the line. And there's no assurance
that won't bust.
That won't bust. I then proceeded to tell him that perjury had been committed, and for this cover-up to continue, it would require more paying and more money. I told him that the demands of the convicted individuals were constantly increasing. Right, so that is it. That is the extent of the knowledge. So where are the soft spots on this? Well, first of all, there is the problem of the continued blackmail, which will not only go on now, but will go on while these people are in prison, and it will compound the obstruction of justice situation. It will cost money. It is dangerous. People around here aren't pros at this sort of thing. This is the sort of thing mafia people can do. Washing money, getting clean money, and things like that. We just don't know about those things because we are not criminals, and we're not used to dealing in that business.
That's right.
It's a tough thing to know how to do.
Well, maybe it takes a gang to do that.
That's right. There's a real problem as to whether we could even do it. Plus, there's a real problem in raising money. Well, Mitchell has been working on raising some money. Well, he's one of the ones with the most to lose. But there's no denying the fact that the White House, in Ehrlichman, Haldeman, and Dean are involved in some of the early money decisions.
Well, how much money do you need?
I'd say these people are going to cost $1 million over the next 2 years.
We could get that. On the money, if you need the money, you could get that. You could get $1 million. You could get it in cash. I know where it could be gotten. It's not easy, but it could be done. But the question is, who the hell would handle it?
Scenario worked out pretty well, yeah.
Well, John, let me say, this is quite the operator. As for the legal side, John, he has some sharp lawyers, and they think this is a damn hard case to prove.
For the government to prove. The government thinks so too, doesn't it?
Well, as I told you today, Peterson says that the legal end is just terribly difficult.
It's our moral thing and the pressure. Basically, it's a PR job.
Today, in one of the most difficult decisions of my presidency, I accepted the resignations of two of my closest associates in the White House, Bob Haldeman, John Ehrlichman, two of the finest public servants it has been my privilege to know.
So there you are. You have got to knock that, crack down. If there's one thing you've got to do, you have got to maintain the presidency out of this. I have got things to do for this country, and I am not going to have. Now, this is personal. I sometimes feel like I'd like to resign. Let Agnew be president for a while. He'd love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.